I like to think of myself as open-minded. However, if there was one group of people that I could never understand, it's cat owners, whose obsessions have always puzzled me. It comes in many forms, most notably in the erotic cosplaying and the child substitution variety. Now, I'll admit, I have never been a pet owner, partly because I've been banned from every pet store in the country, but mostly because I'm more irresponsible than a spokesperson working for the NRA speaking in front of a kindergarten class. I mean, heck, if you were to leave me to take care of a goldfish kept in a self-feeding fish tank, I'll still mess up somehow and find a way to set the whole thing on fire. But hey, as my drug dealer likes to tell me, it's never too late to learn. And what better way to bond with my fellow insane asylum patients than to play Stray, a third-person adventure game where you get to play as a cat. So after earning my PhD in meowing from cat college, the game threw me into an underground dystopian society where I was immediately separated from my cat family and left stranded in a closed-off city inhabited solely by sentient machines who apparently study human interaction from the cave paintings of Stephanie Meyer. Realizing that I was at serious risk of becoming a drooling feline vegetable, I readied myself for a perilous adventure to escape the city and reunite with my fellow cafe workers. At least that's what I think what my character was trying to do, as it's kind of hard to tell exactly what my motivations are, considering how I respond to everything by meowing and coughing up hairballs. Along my journey, I encountered a cringy band of talking robots, each with the social skills of a broken tumble dryer, and who all appear to be suffering from the same mental illness as the NPCs from Skyrim, by which I mean of course that they immediately put all their faith and trust into a complete stranger so long as they have a floating camera pointing at their back. And this is where the writing starts to lose me. See, as far as I can tell, I'm still just a freaking cat, yet somehow these sentient robots seem to believe that I'm capable of installing a nuclear reactor. Like guys, come on, the only thing a cat should be good at is finding food and scratching out my carpet. Why the fuck would these walking toasters need a cat to be a part of their plan to liberate the city? Yet despite how ridiculously dumb this whole thing is, the writer seems to insist on pushing for a dramatic story about fighting an oppressive fascist regime. Listen fellas, storytelling is what makes or breaks most adventure games, and I've played several games whose stories involve anthropomorphizing animals or even objects, some of which were absolutely breathtaking and fully capable of invoking powerful emotions. Heck, I was once so impressed by the writing in Rumu that I proposed to my robot vacuum cleaner, and the only reason why I didn't go through with it was because my doctors had forced me to start taking my medication again. But the point is, whether you're writing a fantasy or sci-fi story, you still need to have relatable characters if you want your audience to feel empathy. Yet we just don't have those in Stray. All the characters interact with each other the same way Christian Stewart interacts with a microwave, and you're left to constantly question whether the people around you even know what they're doing or have any awareness of their surroundings, meaning that any hope of feeling empathy is about as likely as feeling aroused from seeing two cups stacked on top of one another. How about a more relatable story where your caretakers are arrested by the secret police, forcing you to leave your home in search of food and shelter? Whereupon the player gets to see the nature of the dystopian society through the eyes of a cat, and must enter a fight for survival in a hostile environment among other pets whose owners have suffered a similar fate. Or why not just go all in on the ridiculousness, and tell a completely satirical story about how a troublemaking cat goes about messing everybody's day and somehow manages to end up wiping out all of humanity while playing on a computer terminal inside a nuclear silo because the staff were too captivated by your fluffiness. Either way, you want a consistent tone that matches your setting. As for the gameplay, well, the jumping is rather inconsistent as the linear level design restricts you to follow the one path the developers bother to lay out. So unlike the Assassin's Creed games where your characters have apparently replaced their hands with mountaineering tools, here what you can or cannot jump on is determined entirely by whatever button prompts become available, which is especially irritating as the game often tricks you with button prompts that initially appear to be a means for jumping onto a neighboring platform, only for it to instead just cause you to start faffling about with the environment for several seconds. Other than that, much of the game involves solving basic puzzles as well as completing a bunch of fetch quests. There are also a couple of chase and stealth sequences mixed in among the levels, but generally speaking, the game doesn't commit to any one mechanic. It's almost as if the developers spent all their time and budget on the cat animations, and the gameplay for each level was settled by throwing a dart at a board filled with postal notes containing ideas from other games. Overall, I was fairly disappointed with Stray, not because the game was particularly awful or anything, but rather because it just felt so soulless and empty. The story was unengaging and there wasn't any innovation in gameplay to reflect the fact that you were a cat. So frankly, you could have been anything. A dog, a ninja, a confused Tom Cruise, whatever. Yet despite all said, this somehow won Game Award for the best indie game of 2022. I mean, is this a joke? The game was basically just a toy you dangle in front of a cat. Like, I get that people only watch these shows for the trailers, and that the awards themselves are pretty much a farce, but even so, I expected way more out of you, Jeff Keighley.